Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Obviously, coming up later this year, we've got a brand new Call of Duty title dropping, COD 2026, which according to all the leaks and the rumors up until this point is looking like it's going to be Modern Warfare 4. And this is going to be a pivotal year for Call of Duty. They're obviously coming off of one of their biggest failures of a year in terms of overall sales compared to years past, and just its general sentiment right now in the gaming scene. COD is not doing great. BO7, despite it, in my opinion, being a very good core game, just does not have that same feel around it, the same hype around it as CODs have before it. It was one of the worst selling games in COD's franchise history, dating back to like 2008. I think it was the worst since then. So like, they've got to spin the narrative here. They've got to bring back players. They've got to cause some kind of resurgence, no pun intended, with Call of Duty as a franchise. And the Modern Warfare name is going to carry a lot of hype with it by itself, basically. We've seen it time and again. And not only does COD have to try and turn the narrative on itself, basically, and regain player trust and, trying to build back up the player sentiment, it's also going to be competing with whatever comes next for Battlefield 6 throughout the year. It's going to be competing with the biggest game of all time in Grand Theft Auto 6, if that ends up launching as it's supposed to this fall. So this is going to be a tough year for COD to find major success because of issues with the franchise itself and its general competition. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see just how, I guess, panicky, for lack of better word, they are when it comes to marketing Modern Warfare 4, when it's going to be dropping, everything like that. But overall today, I wanted to talk about Modern Warfare 4 as a whole and what I'm really hoping Call of Duty does to both help the game long term, but also try and win back players, and what I think it needs to do to really succeed in what's going to be a very difficult year to do so. As I just mentioned, I think a lot of what Black Ops 7 has at its core is genuinely good. Like, there are a lot of pros in Black Ops 7. There's just a lot of COD fatigue, a lot of fatigue around Black Ops as a whole. People don't like the advanced movement, which is all totally understandable. But a few things that Black Ops 7 did very good outright are the persistent lobbies and the open matchmaking. Even though it doesn't always feel open, it's certainly more noticeable to me, at least, that my connection on this game is better than in years past. Some matches are still insanely sweaty, some are easier than others, but above all, I noticed my connection this year is much better, and I do blame open matchmaking for that, or do credit open matchmaking for that. And then alongside that, the persistent lobbies, the matchmaking system this year, it's definitely not flawless in Black Ops 7 by any means, but it's a step in the right direction. And a lot of that pressure and competition, I think, did force Call of Duty to cave a little bit and say, okay, we're gonna quote unquote reduce the skill-based matchmaking by allowing open matchmaking. We're gonna bring back persistent lobbies so you can play the same people back to back. If you're creating that rivalry, you're talking trash, or you just had a really easy lobby and you want to hope that those players stay in so you can just smack them again the next match, right? I do think those are things that should be standard in COD outright. The fact that they were ever removed is pretty ridiculous. And then matchmaking, obviously a hot topic every year for COD. The skill base being so cranked like it has been the past few years just really, I think, emphasizes the fatigue even more, especially when you're playing and you're in those sweatier lobbies. So even with open matchmaking, I think there's more that could be done there, but it's a nice starting point, if you will, for building on that a little bit more. Another thing I really hope Modern Warfare 4 does is get rid of the Call of Duty HQ. This, on paper, when they first talked about it, hey, we're gonna have a Call of Duty hub, if you will, where you can access all your games quickly, easily, seamlessly. It'll be easier to connect the games year over year and bridge the gap with Warzone, so there's not as many problems. Like, yeah, that sounds great on paper. Okay, we're finally not gonna have these year over year issues that just like sort of reset every time a new COD game drops or a new Warzone integration happens. Except, despite having the COD HQ this entire time, it's a hard reset every year in terms of several bugs and glitches. The Warzone integrations are still a mess, it seems like, and the COD HQ just has backfired tremendously. It's not actually really saving space, it seems like, much. The games are still clunky and buggy with the COD HQ, trying to launch certain things and cross-launching, and it has all sorts of issues there. The COD HQ leaks future projects like crazy because everything's connected to it, basically. So we're getting leaks for like COD 2026, 27, 28 because of the COD HQ. We've had so much spoiled because of that. It just, like I said, has backfired tremendously. It did not work out in execution, and just going back to the standard way of Call of Duty being its own title every year, it wasn't broken back then necessarily. It caused issues when they were trying to integrate everything to Warzone, but that can also be solved in tandem by doing another thing I hope they do with MW4 in the Warzone integration: make Warzone standalone. By Deleting the COD HQ, getting rid of that and completely forgetting it ever existed, and making Warzone standalone, I feel like you solve so many inherent issues with the games year over year. You can still have connections to the main title in Warzone by just not having it in the same app. You can still connect it to the storyline and the theme and everything year over year, but having it in the same app, making Warzone basically, restart, but also maintain the content that it's had for previous integrations year after year after year, has just proven to be insanely problematic. Warzone as a standalone thing should have happened years ago. It's probably too late to fully save it at this point. Like, had Warzone just been standalone when MW2 launched and everything there, when we had the new era, things probably would have been much better long term for it. Instead, now we've seen pretty tremendous fall offs. They can certainly bring some of that back, but it being standalone, long overdue, and connecting that to not having a Call of Duty HQ app that it has to be a part of, I think could be a major problem solver going forward. Oh, and by the way, as we're going through the various things that I want to see here in MW4 and Warzone next year, or this year, I guess, really. If you guys enjoyed the video, you like the points that I'm bringing up, a like rating is a great way to both support the channel and help share the video around to new viewers. If you happen to be a new viewer, maybe you have not subscribed yet, we should change that. I always got you covered with everything going on in COD. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and if there's more stuff that you guys want to see personally in MW4 that I don't bring up in this video, drop me a comment down below. But next up here, another thing that I hope they take and they build off of from Black Ops 7 that I think BO7 has done really, really well up until this point is the weekly update / weekly challenge system / camo system as well. This first started with MW3 and it was really good back then. Black Ops 7 is really sustaining at a great pace right now and really matching, if not exceeding, MW3's levels. The weekly challenges with the aftermarket parts, the new weapons, maybe some blueprints, other things like that here and there, phenomenal. Gives you something to look forward to week after week. But the consistent event system that we've had so far here in Black Ops 7, phenomenal. The camo rewards being integrated in almost everything, also really good. You know, it's a first-person shooter. Yeah, sure, blueprints are okay, but if you build them out to be meta, well, then they look completely different. That's a system that should change as well, for what it's worth. Operator skins are cool, but in a first-person shooter game, you're looking at your gun the most, and camo rewards I think are like the most valuable in terms of what you're actually getting out of them and their actual screen time. So that's all been really good throughout Black Ops 7 so far. I feel like they've sort of set the standard again. MW3 raised the bar and set the standard then. Black Ops 7 is definitely meeting that, if not exceeding that right now. There's no reason for MW4 not to do more of the same there. Another thing I hope they learned from previously was with DMZ. All the rumors, all the leaks so far are pointing towards DMZ 2.0 coming back or really starting and re-debuting here in Modern Warfare 4. But obviously, DMZ should never have left, really. They supported it at first. We saw consistent updates throughout the first few seasons of MW 2022, and then they just abandoned it, especially late game. As MW3 was around the corner, we didn't really see much happening for it then, and then once MW3 dropped, DMZ was a thing of the past. Sure, you can go back, you can play it still, but it's not actively getting support, it's not actively getting updates. DMZ needs year-long plus support. So the entire year, then whatever's into next, DMZ should be a long-term project for Call of Duty, much like Warzone has been for the past few years. There's obviously a lot more competition in the extraction shooter now, in that genre now, versus when DMZ first dropped. It was mainly like Tarkov as that primary competitor. Now you have things like Arc Raiders blowing up, Tarkov's out there, Marathon, things of that nature. The extraction shooter genre is kind of blowing up, and DMZ could hold a prime spot there. It's going to have the Call of Duty name associated with it. Like, there will be interest in it. I hope they support it more because I think there's a lot of potential there. I really enjoyed my time back on DMZ during MW 2022. I just wish there was more depth to the gameplay and more long-term support, and I think that's something hopefully that they could learn from drastically going into MW4. And speaking of just like long-term support for the game, I think Modern Warfare 4 really could benefit from more long-term challenges and grinds. This again is something that Black Ops 7 I think has done really well, offering like the Supreme Mastery camo reward. If you get all the Mastery camos in endgame, multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone, then you end up getting another Mastery one. So like that's a super long-term grind for a lot of players, offering more stuff for hitting max level, max prestige during the events, like fully completing them if they're across multiple modes, doing every little thing there. Having those long-term mastery rewards and challenges there, I think offers players something to really grind for throughout the year. Maybe not just like in the first 2 or 3 weeks at launch or something. That keeps players on the game, and it keeps players having something to look forward to throughout the entirety of the year. And obviously COD's so heavy on there, hey, we need as much retention as possible. I think those kind of rewards and those kind of challenges are a great way to present something that is both beneficial for their numbers, but then also the player base simultaneously. That said, that pretty much is going to wrap things up. Those are a lot of the main things I'm hoping MW4 really focuses on this year. MW4 plus Warzone plus DMZ, I should say. As mentioned, if there's more things that you're hoping they do this year, be sure to drop me a comment down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, you want to help share it around to new viewers, drop a like on it. And if you're new here, you want to stay up to date with everything going on in COD, I'm very eager to start getting official teasers and reveals for MW4. We'll be covering everything there is to know, plus everything else going on in COD on a day-to-day basis. So feel free to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.